What's going on, good people? It's your boy, Parish Sharkey, here again with the post-game bounce. Again, Parish Sharkey, beat reporter for the Memphis Grizzlies for Bluff City Media, coming out fresh of the MLK Day game, celebration game, with the Grizzlies defeated the Minnesota Timberwolves 108 to 106. Really fun game, fun atmosphere. Still is a rivalry, as the atmosphere really felt like and made it feel like against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards and his shenanigans, his trash talk definitely showed throughout the game. But the Grizzlies found a way to claw victory out, come from behind fashion. They started the game off up 11 points early in the first quarter. Then, of course, as kind of typical as things grow every given day with Taylor Jenkins in the player rotations. He played 12 players tonight. Finally put G.G. Jackson's first game was tonight. He finally put him in the second quarter after playing 11 guys. And then he made it number 12. So kind of just tough. And he put him in after the some fans chanted, "We want G.G." And then he ended up coming to the game. So G.G. in his first game, just to give how he looked in his first game, he just like a guy who was trying to feel himself out, fit in. His first shot was flat, the 3-point shot, but he looked good on the drives, which is what you want to see with a player like of his caliber coming off of that type of injury, a broken foot injury. You just want to see his movements. I saw it some, and I know a lot of fans still see us on with the Memphis Hustle in his 3-game stint with them. But his first game back with the Grizzlies, you did see his athleticism, see him get that pop driving to the rim. He had a dunk in the fourth quarter. He had some fourth quarter minutes as well. He ended the game with 4 points, I believe. 4 points on 2 of 5 shooting. Yep. So solid, okay debut for GG. He only played 10 minutes, roughly a little under 11 minutes, 10 minutes and 46 seconds. He played the 11th lowest. Jay Huff was the 12th guy. He was the 11th guy who came off, then GG was the 12th man. Jay Huff only played 3 minutes in the game. So 11 guys played double-digit minutes, if I am counting correctly. Yep, 11 guys played double-digit minutes with GG playing the least amount, but it was his first game back. So that was expected. Playing 12 guys, probably not so much. And no telling what's going to happen when Vince Williams and Marcus Smart comes back. We want a fully healthy roster, but everybody ain't going to be able to play. Can't play 14 guys in the game when it comes down to it. So Taylor Jenkins going to have to find a way to cut it. Where guys just getting DNPs, even just, like I said, Jay Huff got 3 minutes. You just can't play that many guys. But they blew their 11-point lead after counting the substitution pattern. He made like 7 different substitutions in the first quarter. And there, at one point, the Grizzlies were up by 6. I can't remember how much time was remaining in the first quarter. But then Minnesota won a 13-0 run to take a 7-point lead at the end of the first quarter. And then they kept the lead going to halftime. I believe they were about double digits. Everybody mistaken. Yep, they were about 11 at halftime. And then in the third quarter, the Grizzlies cut it. They were only down by, I believe, 7 or 5 going to the fourth quarter. And then think about this: the Grizzlies scored 37 points in the fourth quarter. Heading to the fourth quarter, I tweeted because they only had 71 points going to the fourth quarter, and it was like, okay, their season low this year is 104, and it felt very likely that they weren't going to make that 104 mark. 104 points was their season low in points this season, and a loss to the New Jersey Nets earlier in the season at Brooklyn. As in New Jersey, in Brooklyn Nets at Brooklyn early in the season. That was their lowest point total. So for a while, I felt like that they weren't going to make that. But then 37-point explosion in the fourth quarter. Struggling shooting throughout for both teams. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards in particular, had 18 free throws. They got to the free throw line. Grizzlies did quite a bit too. The free throws the Grizzlies actually ended up getting more free throws, 34 to Minnesota's 27. What it felt like was the first 3 quarters, Minnesota was getting all the foul calls. Then the fourth quarter, it kind of switched to Memphis. And you could tell by the frustrations. The players and Grizzlies coaching frustrated the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, Minnesota was frustrated. Ja Morant ended up getting technical of a play he thought he got fouled on earlier. Minnesota players didn't get taken in the fourth quarter when they were kind of doing the same thing. So, as Trevor always says, I feel like the Grizzlies get a different whistle. Hey, it is what it is. You got to find a way to push through it. Jaren Jackson Jr. entered the fourth quarter with 9 points. He got in foul trouble with 3 fouls in the first half. And then got to the fourth quarter, he scored 15 points and got his 4th double-double of the season. So, and specifically with Jaren Jackson, the Grizzlies, their big 3 specifically, Desmond Bane, Ja Morant, and Jaren Jackson Jr., they closed the game out. And what I mean by that is a lot of their close losses this season has been the Grizzlies' big three hasn't showed up. And I know you get a lot of fans, we're talking about the role players. Santi Aldama struggled tonight. And, you get into these arguments, but at the end of the day, if the Grizzlies' big three, who are all all-star caliber players, superstar level, and John Morant, all-NBA level, and Jaren Jackson, all-star caliber, and Desmond Bane, if they play collectively like the big three should play in these moments, in which they did today on MLK Day, they are probably going to win despite what the role players do. The role players playing well is just added bonus. Or if the big three is struggling, you need a role player to step up. That's where the role players come into play. And with the role players, it just got to be, it don't have to be the same role player. Santi Aldama could have a great game against San Antonio. He struggled tonight. Guess who stepped up? Jalen Wells, 13 points. You just need someone to still, you just need probably, if the big three are playing well, you really only need one role player to truly step up. And that was Jalen Wells in this matchup, right? So the big three stepped up, and the big three outdoed the Minnesota's big two today because Julius Randle shot 2 for 13. So it was the Anthony Edwards and Nas Reed show. Anthony Edwards had 32. Nas Reed had 29 off the bench. Also, Rod Dillingham, their role player they had stepped up was Rod Dillingham. He had 15 points off the bench. So the thing with the Grizzlies, you have a big three. The big three needs to play like a big three. They're going to have off time. They're going to have all nights. But if you can get this collection of them, Jaren with 24 and 10, Dez with 22, 6 and 5, John Morant with 19, 7 and 4. That's what you need. Josh struggled a little bit with his shot, but Dez went 4 for 6 from 3. I want him to take even more threes. He's back. Dez is back. And that's what the Grizzlies need, and that's what was expected. Like, he was going to shoot. He was going to find his way out of the slump. So shout out to the Grizzlies. Like I said, the big three, they found the way to close it out. And it was different possessions. It was like, I think they scored, I want to say they scored the final 10 points for the Grizzlies. So they were down 100 to 95. I think the Grizzlies went on a 11-0 run to take a 106 to 100 lead. And that was spearheaded first by Jalen Wells. He got fouled in 3. He had 3 free throws. After that, the big three scored the last 10 points. It was like, I think Dez got fouled, hit 2 free throws. Then he had the layup to go about 2. Then Jaren got fouled, hit 2 free throws. Then Ja hit either got fouled to hit 2 free throws or had a layup himself, and that's when they got to 106, 100. So overall, good performance. It's a deja vu from last week as well. And we did ask Dez that question. It was like how it felt like being in the same situation again. Like, did it really feel like that? He was like, yeah, like last Saturday, they played at Minnesota, and like, it literally, it was about 2 last possession. Anthony Edwards gets the ball. Everybody's a 3. And what he do this week? Okay, here we go. Back in the same situation. What they going to do? Get the ball Anthony Edwards. Take a step back 3-pointer over Dez and Jaren, and everybody's again. So that's good, actually, good coaching in that moment from Taylor Jenkins. So you can give credit when credit is due, and also criticize them in the moments early in the first half where the game kind of got out of hand. Went from being up 11 and down 16, I believe. So you find a way, but we keep hitting the nail on the head with Taylor Jenkins in the rotations. Hopefully, you just gotta hope. Later on in the season, you just gotta hope that eventually get to that point. A little positive note to end this night with is the Grizzlies now are heading. They are in the midst of a 4-game homestand. They have 3 left against losing teams. Now they're back on the easier side, a little easier on the schedule for the next 3 games. Play Charlotte, New Orleans, and Utah. I don't know if I flip New Orleans and Utah around, but they played them back-to-back Friday, Saturday. I think it's New Orleans Friday, Utah. Saturday, it might be Utah and New Orleans. It might be swapped. But either way, those are 3 winnable games. 3 games they need to go and take care of business on, because next week they play in New York. Then get their rematch at home against Houston Rockets, who they are 0-3 against. But they just finished their 11 games straight of playing teams that are playoff type, actual playoff level, like playoff opponents, potentially, like all in the top 12 of the West. They just played all those games, 11 in a row. And they finished 6-5. Shout out to Drew Hill for this stat. Yep. I mean, Dash did pretty well. I think John Morant missed 6 of those games, if I remember, if he said correctly. And Santi Aldama missed, I want to say, 6 of those games as well. So, and yeah, we can mention all the players. Zach Edey missed like 3. Brandon Clark missed 2. Like, the end of the day, they did go 6-5 in that stretch. And it's a lot of, moving parts. And I would say this about Taylor Jenkins. His fourth quarter rotations have improved since that Houston game. Since then, he's definitely has had two of Ja, Jaren, or Dez in the fourth quarter at all times. That's progress. Just got to hope he continues to progress on the beginning of the game, but he has adjusted towards the end of the game. And even the offense is looking much better down the stretch with Jaren, Ja, and Dez each kind of taking turns and getting a good shot instead of just call 12. Today it was finding plays with Jaren. It was getting Dez going in the fourth. So, hey, I give credit where it's due, and with the little intricacies that we need to continue to get better. So, shout out to the Grizzlies, fun field, playoff atmosphere against a rival team. I always love to win another second straight national TV game they just had and won. So, shout out to the Grizzlies. Much to complain, ain't too much to complain about. You found a way. You got to win. Sometimes you got to win ugly. They found a way. They went back to the grit and grind days a little bit today. So, shout out to Grizzlies. 5 in a row in MLK Day as well. After grit and grind, Grizzlies only won like one game on MLK Day throughout the whole team. And this group has won 5 in a row. So, shout out to the Grizzlies once again. Hey, that's all I got for you. Good vibes around here. Again, it's your boy Parish Sharkey, the beat reporter for the Memphis Grizzlies for Bluff City Media, here with the post-game bounce for the Minnesota Timberwolves.